Hi Pisces, this is your September 24 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this is your reading, and it's Romy here. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. We're going to open up with the Messenger of Earth. I think September delivers this questioning around what you love most about your life, and it's an important question because something new is emerging on the horizon. Later on in September, we're going to meet this full moon lunar eclipse north node in your sign, and it's going to spark and give the glimpse of what is coming down the line. And you know, there's a reshaping, I think, that's going to start from September onwards. And really, you know, if you can come from a place of affirming clearly to yourself, you know, every day I feel relaxed and comfortable in my own skin. You know, this is about you feeling more like yourself than you've ever been, and really being mindful of what you love most about your life so that you can start to make choices and decisions that are moving you in the right direction. And I see a deliberate contemplation and I see deliberate actions that you're taking through September that are really reflecting on your values in a more emphatic way than you ever have before. Now, from the beginning of the month, Pluto re-enters Capricorn. It's the final swan song up to November 19th. And we are clearing something out. We are really drawing a line. And, you know, with that in mind, there's an awful lot of contemplation about what this last significant chapter of your life has delivered for you, what those major life lessons have been. You're more attuned and psychically aware than you ever have been. And so I think the self-awareness is on a whole nother level. What you're incredibly focused upon in September is, how do I really make that change in myself? And I think these final few weeks with Pluto and Capricorn is really helping with that transformation to become complete, right? The same day Uranus stations retrograde in Taurus, all of these backspinning planets, of course, a reminder that, you know, the answers lay within. And when Uranus is retrograde, the revolution that it wants to bring to our life happens within us first. And so as we build to the new moon in Virgo on the 2nd, we have an interesting conversation playing out. There's a deep desire to want to break free and to make those bigger changes. The new moon affords us the opportunity to start filling in the details and, you know, looking at the plans that we have and really considering what the next measured step is going to be. But we have Mars squaring Neptune on the same date, and there is this sort of deeper, like, what is it I believe? And perhaps slight confusion, maybe even some doubt or uncertainty that might surface in terms of the grandeur of your plans, or, you know, the self-confidence that's maybe been rising, or, you know, you're trying to build self-esteem in some area, and then, you know, maybe there's a little wobble, or there's something that comes along to just disrupt you ever so slightly. Now, the 10 of fire here tells me that you're definitely ready to burn some responsibility. Like, you're feeling like you've been under the cosh for so long. It's like you felt duty bound towards something, and we're nearing the end of that cycle. And there's this huge sense of karmic clearance, I think, going on as well, as we see her you know, burning the pages, something really cleansing taking place for you through the month of September. Remember, we've got Equinox coming in, so it's the perfect time of year for that celestial rebalance to support you fully. Now, I want to call out on the 3rd of the month, it's an interesting first week in September for sure. Venus is conjunct with the South Node in Libra, so there's a deep reflection, particularly around past love relationships, you know, and helping you to let go. And bring some closure to the situation. Now, remember, in Virgo season, we're in that 7th house for you. Now, you have this chance to sort of reflect on your values. And remember, there'll be a lot of new people entering your life when you're working through this 7th house, not just romantically, but in all walks of your connections to people. And this is an opportunity for you to show them who you are without them kind of holding you to account of these outdated versions of yourself. So you get to really play to the strengths and then the kind of new energy that's emerging. Again, fostering this, how do I want my life to be? How am I shaping it? And, that also means as you, I think, take the assessment in that first week, right, of what you're loving most about your life. And if there is very little, or, you're struggling to answer that question, I think there's a more determined intention for that new energy to really put some focus around making a change, so that actually you can look around your life and say, you know what, I'm really happy and I feel really positive, and almost anticipating like how the growth is really serving me and can open up new doors for me moving forward. I think it's going to be a really interesting month for you, Pisces, in terms of having conversations with new people, or conversations with people from the past, but talking about things in a new way or in a new light. Remember, as we move forward, we still keep re-meeting old parts of ourselves, and that at times can feel super exhausting. I see you with the Six of Water, perhaps feeling a little bit stressed around something. Remember, Virgo is very much about what we can digest, and you're kind of holding on to your tummy, your solar plexus here, so you might be struggling to digest something. There might be more, sort of physical issues going on there, but it could also just be with regards information or emotions. Maybe they're not processing very well, or you're struggling to kind of receive the news of something or to come to terms with something. It may well be linked to the past as well. Perhaps there's new information or something new coming to light, and it's maybe throwing you a loop a little bit. Maybe there's something surprising about that, and you're just kind of trying to make sense of it. It could be a little disruption in your energy field with regards to that. We've also got Mars in Cancer from the 4th, right? So moving through that water energy, very reflective on the past, feeling quite nostalgic with regards to something. I do also think it's sort of, it kind of gives me like a bittersweet energy. So I think there's some really beautiful things that are coming up. But you remember, the way you're interpreting, or, how something comes to light, there might also be something there that feels a little bit more challenging to deal with. I do want to draw out though, as we make our way towards the mid-month, Venus trines with Jupiter, right? They're both in air signs, Libra and Gemini. And what we get here is information, news, messages, positive, progressive, and very much indicators of where we're going to see the growth and the expansion. So when I say that something new is on the horizon, something new is emerging, you may well start to see seeds of that come up mid-month, and then that build up to the lunar eclipse in your sign. When you're in the process of almost resting to receive that information, right, you very much have to be the one that is seeking your own validation. It almost seems to me that kind of things that show up, the signpost, the news, the information, someone else might not interpret it as being particularly significant, but for you, Pisces, it's everything. It actually is exactly what you needed to hear or you needed to see. And in that instance, a reminder, you don't have to be responsible for anyone else's interpretation of your life. And you're also not responsible for their happiness or their healing. I think there's something very important about you prioritizing taking care of yourself and really leaning into how you're being directed in September. Everybody will benefit as a result of that, because as your confusion turns to clarity, you're expressing yourself, you're communicating in lots of different ways, in an energy that is much easier for people to see where you're at, and it gives them permission to do the same. So don't shy away from the opportunity to do that in September. But mid-month, something positive feels like it's coming to light. You've got Page of Air there, news, communication, conversations. Her wings are outstretched, and it feels like, again, the signpost of the feather falling down. It's like an important sign is coming in and around that period. So what you've been waiting for, what you've been hoping for, is maybe not coming directly in a way you'd anticipated. Nonetheless, you're definitely feeling, as a result of that experience, some form of a green light or a validating moment. Okay, that's exactly what I get coming through. Now, we build to this full moon lunar north node on the 17th, and this storyline that's going to play out between Pisces and Virgo is going to blur the lines between logic and intuition, fact and fantasy. You know, we're going to have this dance between them. And around that full moon in your sign, Pisces, something really healing, it feels to me, is coming to light. And we've got the energy of the sun here. Remember, you're going to be working with the North Node, the highest expression of your destiny. And like I said, there's a reshaping taking place here. I think there's subtle changes that are going to start to happen and be, you know, set in motion by you, right, from September as a result of that full moon. You know, just to shift your priorities. The sun tells me that you're feeling quite energized around the possibility or the prospect of something. You might not have everything aligned, it might not have all coalesced quite yet, but what I think is clearly happening is you can see how fate and the hand of fate stepped into your pathway in 2024 and said, okay, we need to make some changes. So we're going to make disruption over here. You know, we are going to have all these endings and beginnings merging, and we're going to lift you up out of pathways and place you in new pathways. And everything might have felt a bit disorientating, and, you know, at times like a real slog. And yet, you know, there are these green shoots now emerging as you start to get a clear clarity on the direction you want to head towards. And, you know, it's difficult for us truly sometimes to comprehend how destiny can intervene. And it's often not till much later that we can connect the dots and really start to make sense of things. I think September is a super interesting time, because the equinox just feels like it brings everything back into an order, and then we start to see where we are, and we're looking with fresh eyes, we're looking with a new perspective at our each individual pathway, and knowing what is being asked of us or what we are now wanting to devote ourselves towards. It feels like quite weighty in terms of a moment, if you like, through the course of 24. I love the sun for you. I feel like there's a tremendous amount of creative energy incoming. We do have a lot with the Six of Water and the sun connected into child, perhaps inner child. So there might be some things coming up in regards to that. There might be an invitation here that there's a need to be more creative, introduce more play in your life. There might be something strongly going on and connected into children in your life through the course of this month. What we're also seeing, you know, with that equinox arriving on the 22nd, is Venus shifting into Scorpio. So I think there's a bit of an intensity around the energy of equinox, from a perspective that we're generally trying to get clear on what we want to devote ourselves towards. And there's a sort of loyalty, I think, that's emerging. You know, what you want to really be loyal to, and where you want to bond and kind of really come together with something or someone. And I think that the balancing energy of equinox sort of just sort of helps to shift your energy field so that you see what is possible. It may be that, you know, up to now the timing hasn't quite been right, but I think you're now going, okay, I can sort of see how this will start to come together, and that means I've got to do this, I've got to prepare, I've got got to get myself ready now to receive this and to sort of step up to this new chapter, this new era in my life. You've got Page of Fire here, really interesting conversations. Like I said, new people often come in when we're working through 7th house energy. It's definitely a time to manifest and set intention on anything that you need. You know, do you need a new person to work for you? Are you looking for new friendships, new communities? Like, this is the time to kind of put that out to the universe. There's often sliding doors moments, I think, coming through, and revolving doors. You know, a lot of people kind of come in and out of our life during this season. But what shows up for you really strongly here is just this willingness to start to look at things differently and actually have that in more clear communication with others as well. So it's almost like you're sitting down with people and you're going, okay, this is not working, right? And sometimes we get pushed to our limit. I think that's where that 10 of fire comes through. You get pushed to your limit so you can see things for what they are, and then you have to make a reassessment of what it is that you're doing. And if you're doing that and you're affirming that you feel relaxed and comfortable in your skin, so then you become very aware of what is affecting that reality, and you're asking yourself repeatedly, what is it that I love most about my life? And if there isn't much, or if there are things and I'm really wanting to protect and make that very sacred and non-negotiable, then you can see how so much more of this clarity starts to emerge through this month. Now, I want to call out toward the end of September. The 29th sees Mercury conjunct the South Node in Libra. And here we've got lessons from the past, particularly regarding communication. So you're going to find yourself, I don't know, it's almost like I feel you have the opportunity to connect with somebody, or you're having a conversation and you can feel yourself doing the thing that you always did, and then stopping yourself and going, no, not this time. I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to go back into that pattern. And you literally halt. You take the pause and you change it. You bring a different response to the party. You bring something new to the table. And in that moment, it's so powerful, because it's like, there's the integration. And it's like, if you question sometimes, you know, yourself, like, what does it feel like to really be this change, to embody something? What does that even mean? Well, you literally live it and experience it toward the end of the month. It feels good because it demonstrates to you, my gosh, I've changed. I could never have done that weeks ago, months ago, whatever. Now I'm ready. And not only that, I've really made peace with it, deep acceptance with it. It's maybe not perfect, but still there's something really powerful about that moment. And it gives you a lot of confidence, actually, because it shows you, well, if I can do that and if I can make that change, then what else is possible? What else can shift for me in this period? And then I think this is going to set you off in a really interesting direction, where you're going to start to make changes that happen much quicker than you think in areas of your life that have felt exceptionally stagnant for some period of time. So kind of hold on to your hats is what I want to say with regards to that. Now, if you're new to the channel, our last 3 cards we look at in the extended version of my reading, Pisces. You can find the link for that in the comment description box underneath. We talk for another 30 minutes. We're going to look at a personal question and a relationship card for you also. It's a way to support my channel. Your investment means so much to me. You can also support me in the super chat beneath. But I hope if it's resonating, you'll come and explore what more we have to say for this month. I'm going to go ahead and clarify these cards and just see the direction that we're going to be taking this reading for you. We've got Chariot, 9 of Wands. We've got the 7 of Cups, and we've got High Priestess. Okay, what about the 6 of Water, 2 of Swords, and King of Swords? Okay, Page of Air, 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords. Okay. Now, this month you can check out my Equinox ritual, a soul journey guided to just help you align with these energies. I've also got a lunar eclipse meditation. So these are over on romywiser.com. You'll also find my book and my deck over there, ways to work with me, information to receive upcoming news about my new journal, which is on the way. So I hope you will take a moment to go check that out. Now I'm just going to use Life Soul Vision, which is my own deck. We'll see where we're going to look at these messages. All the decks are always listed below, Pisces, yeah. Enlightened in the exhale, we have Spirit Stag, Heavenly Timing, New Moon, Deliberate Intention. We've got Soul Stories. We've got Spirit Crane, Dance with the Divine. We've got Spirit Lion, Spiritual Strength coming in for you. Beautiful cards. A lot of animal energies this month for you, Pisces. One final oracle for you for the month of September. What are we picking up here? Good luck, auspicious, wishes granted, blessings. Well, that's a nice one to receive. Okay, thank you for being here. I hope you'll join me for the extended. You take care. Have a beautiful month.